The Senate will come to order. Ask everyone present to please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the absence of clergy, may we bow our heads for a moment of silent reflection or prayer. Reading of the Journal.
In Senate, Wednesday, March 30th, 2022, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The Journal of Tuesday, March 29th, 2022 was read and approved. On motion, the Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the Journal stands approved as read. Presentation of petitions. Messages from the Assembly. Secretary Reed.
Senator Kaplan moves to discharge from the Committee on Investigations and Government Operations Assembly Bill number 5913A, substituted for the identical Senate Bill 123A, third reading calendar 88.
So ordered.
Senator Thomas moves to discharge from the Committee on Consumer Protection Assembly Bill number 6938B, substituted for the identical Senate Bill 5924C, third reading calendar 132.
So ordered.
Senator Kaminsky moves to discharge from the Committee on Environmental Conservation Assembly Bill number 9589, substituted for the identical Senate Bill 8595, third reading calendar 736.
So ordered.
Senator Stuart Cousins moves to discharge from the Committee on Investigations and Government Operations Assembly Bill number 8895A, substituted for the identical Senate Bill 8266, third reading calendar 738.
So ordered. Reports of standing committees. Reports of select committees. Communications and reports from state offices. Motions and resolutions. Senator Gianaris.
Mr. President, we're going to start with an immediate meeting of the Rules Committee in room 332. I don't expect it will take very long, but let's call that now and return for the work on the floor.
There will be an immediate meeting of the Rules Committee in room 332.
Stand at ease.
The Senate will stand at ease. The Senate will return to order. Senator Gianaris.
Mr. President, there's a report of the Rules Committee at the desk. Can we please take that up?
Secretary Reed.
Senator Stuart Cousins from the Committee on Rules reports the following bills. Senate Print 8552 by Senator Myrie, enactment of the election law. Senate Print 8658 by Senator Gorin, enactment Chapter 258 of the laws of 2020. Senate Print 8665 by Senator Stuart Cousins, an act extending the time which certain elected and appointed officials may take or file their oaths of office or official undertakings. All bills reported direct to third reading.
Move to accept the report of the Rules Committee.
All those in favor of accepting the report of the Rules Committee signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. The Rules Committee report is adopted. Senator Gianaris.
Moving on to resolutions, can we take up previously adopted Resolution 2096 by Senator Ramos? Read its title. Recognize Senator Ramos.
Secretary Reed.
Senate Resolution 2096 by Senator Ramos, memorializing Governor Kathy Hochul to proclaim March 31st, 2022 as Cesar Chavez Day in the state of New York.
Senator Ramos on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today in honor of Cesar Chavez, his legacy, and heroic efforts to bring dignity to the farm fields of California. He's perhaps one of the most important heroes to union organizers and American Latinos alike. And as someone who checks off both of those boxes, I draw inspiration from his persistence and fearlessness every day. Cesar Chavez led mostly Mexican immigrant farm workers in the fight for better wages, improved health and safety conditions, joining Filipino farm workers in the historic Delano grape strike, and promoting nonviolent organizing through public fasts and national boycotts. Because when the people who feed the world by toiling in the fields are themselves deprived of the basic rights of feeding, sheltering, and caring for their own families, our entire community is made sick. In 1968, he undertook a hunger strike to demand free and fair elections, an end to the deadly use of pesticides, and the defense of farm workers and their children from exploitative labor practices. It took them 5 long years to win increased pay and the right to unionize. He said, "This solution to this deadly crisis will not be found in the arrogance of the powerful, but in solidarity with the weak and helpless. I pray to God that this fast will be a preparation for a multitude of simple deeds for justice, carried out by men and women whose hearts are focused on the suffering of the poor and who yearn with us for a better world. Together, all things are possible." And I can't help but draw some parallels to the current moment. We're celebrating the formation of the first farm worker union in the history of New York State at Pindar Vineyards in Peconic, New York, part of our WDSU Local 338, since we passed the Farm Worker Fair Labor Practices Act in 2019. And we're still fighting for excluded workers who went on hunger strike themselves last year to draw attention to the plight of New Yorkers who are excluded from unemployment despite paying their taxes. And today, we fight to ensure that 60,000 undocumented children have access to safe and quality childcare in this year's budget. Resolutions like today's always honor the best in our heroes, but as humans, our heroes too are flawed. Chavez encouraged union members to join border lines to prevent immigrants from crossing into the U.S., thinking it undermined the efforts of the farm workers to organize. He would later change his posture to support amnesty, but for years this had been used as an excuse for the labor movement to not support the rights for undocumented immigrants. And today, we know this is wrong. New York State knows this is wrong. We know that we all do better when we all do better. Whether it's farm work or construction, our labor movement is more powerful because our struggles are connected and because we fight poverty shoulder to shoulder. I leave you with my favorite quote from this imperfect man. Once social change begins, it cannot be reversed. You cannot uneducate the person who has learned to read. You cannot humiliate the person who feels pride. You cannot oppress the people who are not afraid anymore. We have seen the future, and the future is ours. I vote aye.
Thank you, Senator Ramos. Senator Gorin on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you so much, Senator Ramos, for this important resolution today. You know, it's not too many times you get the opportunity in this chamber to actually age yourself. But Cesar Chavez was actually somebody that had a strong influence on my life when I was very young, simply by watching the television and looking at, you know, the horror and the way the farm workers were being treated. So there were a group of students in my high school, and we all got together, and we organized our own club to go out every single day to all of the supermarkets to stand there with flyers and to urge shoppers not to buy grapes. And obviously it was a very small part of the effort, but I know it took place all over the United States of America. And eventually they were able to win their rights because of support from across the country, but mostly because of the brave men and women who struggled, who were working, you know, in the farms at that point in time. So I very proudly vote yes for this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Gorin. The resolution was previously adopted on March 22nd. Senator Gianaris.
Senator Ramos would like to open this resolution for co-sponsorship.
The resolution is open for co-sponsorship. Should you choose not to be a co-sponsor of the resolution, please notify the desk. Senator Gianaris.
I have a motion here, Mr. President. On behalf of Senator Parker, on page 32, I offer the following amendments to Calendar 710, Senate 2933, and ask that said bill retain its place on the third reading calendar.
So ordered.
Can we now take up the reading of the calendar, please?
Secretary will read.
Calendar number 88, Assembly number 5913A by Assemblymember Levine, enactment of the executive law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect April 1st, 2023.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 132, Assembly number 6938B by Assemblymember Epstein, enactment of the education law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 30th day, it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Senator Thomas to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. Transcripts are a record of a student's education. They are not and were never meant to be tools for debt collection. And yet, thousands of New Yorkers are currently unable to obtain their transcripts from higher education institutions across the state because they owe even small amounts of money, from tuition fees to library fines and parking tickets, to the universities and colleges they attend. This practice is known to some as transcript ransoming. Transcript withholding is a disruptive, counterproductive, and harmful practice that prevents students from being able to transfer credits, re-enroll in school to finish their degrees, or obtain jobs that could help them pay their balances. Each withheld transcript represents a student who was denied the opportunity to pursue a chosen career path, denied access to social and economic mobility through higher education, and ultimately denied access to the American dream. My legislation will stop the practice of transcript withholding as a debt collection tool and ensure our students have the tools they need to thrive, especially in these exceptionally challenging times. I thank Leader Stewart-Cousins for bringing this bill to the floor and my Senate colleagues for their support in standing up for students across New York State. I vote in the affirmative. Thank you.
Senator Thomas to be recorded in the affirmative. Senator Prasad to explain her vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. As you may remember, the last time this legislation came to the floor, I voted against it. And I asked many questions because of the life I lived prior to coming to the legislature. This year, even though there are flaws in the legislature, I will support the legislation with the caveat that my Senate sponsor revisits the flaws that I explained to him that are in the legislation. Transcript withholding is not done frivolously. As a former college registrar and a university registrar, I know the process. Oftentimes, a student who owes the tuition for an entire semester or more will transfer to another institution, pay higher tuition sometimes, and forget the institution that they owe the money to. The colleges and universities must have some protection. We have to look at the flaws, as I explained to my colleague, in the legislation, and he's promised that they are going to look at that. So for those reasons, not that I want to withhold any student's transcript, but there are flaws in the legislation, but I will support the legislation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Prasad to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 132, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Akshar, Borrello, Boyle, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Jordan, Lanza, Martucci, Matera, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Palumbo, Rath, Sereno, Steck, Tedisco, and White. Ayes 44, nays 19.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 509, Senate Print 8276A by Senator Mayer, enactment of the education law.
Read the last section.
Section 11, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart-Cousins, White.
Senator Mayer to explain her vote.
Thank you, Mr. President. This important bill recognizes the lingering effects of COVID on students, teachers, and administrators by decoupling state assessments from the annual professional performance reviews and tenure decisions for both teachers and principals during this 2022-2023 school year. It is extremely important because under federal law, New York State is required to administer these state tests. In fact, today is the second day for the ELA test. For ELA and math for students in grades 3 through 8, and in science for students in grades 4 and 8. These assessments are traditionally used as a factor in determining teacher and principal reviews and the granting of tenure under New York State law. In 2020, at the onset of the pandemic, the federal government approved a one-year waiver of these testing requirements, but has since required states to administer this grade-level testing. And in fact, however, far fewer students have participated in the tests, and in 2021, 4 out of 10 students participated in the state's ELA and math tests, but in a typical year, 80% participate. So it is absolutely not an accurate, fair, or just way to evaluate our students or our teachers and principals. This test cannot and should not be used to adequately measure gains in student performance and should not be used as an instrument to measure the performance of teachers and principals, who, I might add, have done an extraordinary job enduring the most challenging times in schools. The bill has the backing of the New York State United Teachers, the New York State School Boards Association, New York State Council of School Superintendents, the New York State School Administrators Association, and the BOCES of New York State. This is a common sense, overdue bill. I'm so pleased, and I thank the leader for allowing us to bring this to the floor, and I'm hopeful my colleagues in the Assembly will pass it. It will be signed so that teachers and principals know that this year they will not be judged on these unjust ways of determining their merit. I vote aye.
Senator Mayer to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
Bill is passed.
Calendar number 573, Senate Print 739A by Senator Biaggi, enactment of the domestic relations law and the executive law.
Read the last section.
Section 6, this act shall take effect on the 90th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 573, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Akshar, Borrello, Griffo, Hellman, Jordan, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Rath, Skoufis, and Tedisco. Ayes 52, nays 11.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 613, Senate Print 1355 by Senator Serrano, enactment of the Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 1st of January.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 613, those senators voting in the negative are Senators Hellman, Jordan, and Sereno. Ayes 60, nays 3.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 655, Senate Print 3791 by Senator Comrie, enactment of the penal law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 696, Senate Print 1207 by Senator Kaminsky, enactment of the Public Authorities Law.
Read the last section.
Section 3, this act shall take effect on the 180th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed. Calendar number 710, the bill is high and will be laid aside for the day.
Calendar number 736, Assembly number 9589 by Assemblymember Griffin, enactment Chapter 77 of the laws of 2010.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 738, Assembly number 8895A by Assemblymember Paulin, enactment Chapter 566 of the laws of 2019.
There is a home rule message at the desk. Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Pick up the supplemental calendar.
There is a substitution at the desk. The Secretary will read.
Senator Myrie moves to discharge from the Committee on Elections, Assembly Bill number 9508, and substituted for the identical Senate Bill 8552, third reading calendar 742.
Read the last section.
Calendar number 742, Assembly number 9508 by Assemblymember Walker, enactment of the election law. Read the last section. Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 743, Senate Print 8658 by Senator Gorin, an act to amend Chapter 258 of the laws of 2020.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed. There's a substitution at the desk. Secretary will read.
Senator Stewart Cousins moves to discharge from the Committee on Rules, Assembly Bill number 9607, and substituted for the identical Senate Bill 8665, third reading calendar 744.
Read the last section.
Calendar number 744, Assembly number 9607 by Assemblymember Hasty, an act extending the time which certain elected and appointed officials may take or file their oaths of office or official undertakings. Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris, Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 744, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Akshar, Borrello, Boyle, Griffo, Helming, Jordan, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Rath, Steck, and Tedisco. Ayes 51, nays 12.
The bill is passed. Senator Janeris, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Mr. President, is there any further business at the desk?
There is no further business at the desk.
I move to adjourn until Monday, April 4th at 3 p.m. with the intervening days being legislative days.
On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Monday, April 4th at 3 p.m. with intervening days being legislative.